So the question a lot of people have is, does God really exist? And people always ask, what religion do I believe in? What God do I pray with and speak to? And what is right, what is wrong? And I find that religion is a very interesting thing today, because there's a lot of religion that is battling against other religion. And it's kind of like, if God is within all, then who are we battling with? And how we determine God, and what is the parallel between all of these different things, whether we talk about the Holy Quran or the Bible and everything. And how I look at it is very simple, because I remember an interesting thing that happened when I was, I think in my early 20s. And I remember a good friend of mine actually just got into Christianity at the time. And when she got into Christianity, she came over and she told me, she said, you should come to church with me. And I remember being extremely offended by it when she asked me to go to church, because I was like, why are you trying to get me into some cult or something? I don't believe in that stuff, And she was keep recruiting me, Sometimes you have people try to recruit you into church. And I said, what is this whole thing? She said to me, you don't understand. Since I've become a Christian, I felt so much better. I felt so strong, and God is there, and I speak to him. I'm so close to him. And I remember at that time, actually, I was laughing, and because I didn't understand. And I just said, okay. I said, well, what does that mean? I mean, how's that going to help you? I said, you need to work with your job. You need to work hard in that. It's like God's not going to do your job for you, It's like, and then she said to me, no, you don't understand. Now, when I walk home, I never feel afraid anymore. In the past, whenever I walked home, I used to feel really scared. And I laughed, and it was a very fascinating experience for me, because I laughed and I said, what, you think that God is going to come and save you or something? And I just laughed, and then we kind of hung up and left it there. And afterwards, I came to some reflection and asked myself a question. I said, one of my good friends just told me that she feels more positive now, feels more stronger now. And why is it that I just laughed at her and put the phone down? It's like, she's telling me that she feels better, she feels more confident. And so, which came to, at that time, which is a slightly different understanding to what I have today, but at that time I came to peace with the idea of God. And because she was a part of this whole thing right now, I decided to actually just listen to her in respect for what she had to say. And I started reading the Bible, right? And it was very interesting. I started reading the Bible, and I was like, wow, these principles are really strong, because it's just, a lot of it is positivity, right? Whether we look at the stories as myths or whether it really happened or whatnot is up to your own personal decision, whether you believe or not. But the ethics, the values, the message, the intention behind all the stories, all I seen was all the positivity towards it. And so when I seen it, I said, this is actually a good book. And then I started, whenever I speak to her, I started being able to become acceptance of it. And it was fascinating, because I seen her become more and more positive, understanding that her good friend also understood her. And so now looking at it, and over the years, how it's helped me to understand God is the whole parallel in everything. If we look at God, maybe as part of science, because God is our creator, God created everything, right? Or we can even call universe. Some people use the terminology universe. Some people call Buddha, Allah, Krishna, whatever you want to call that powerful, powerful divine. And at the same time, I'm not saying that God is all, and I'm also not saying God is separate. And I'll explain to you what I mean by that. First of all, it depends on your interpretation of God, because even your interpretation of God to somebody else's interpretation of God may be different. But one thing that's helped me, especially along this law of attraction path, is that you and me and every single thing we can see around us, every living thing, nature, was created by something. Can we come to agreement with that first of all? You can't disagree with that, right? And can we agree that the creator of us, and some of you will say, oh, but the creator of me was my parents. What about the creator of them? So what about the creator of existence? Now you can call it the Big Bang, science. Okay, that's cool. But if you want to call God the Big Bang, that's okay too. Let's use your terminology for now. But basically, we are talking about creator. That's why when we created this whole I am creator, we decided to call creator, not God, not anything. It's just the thing that created everything, whether it's science, whatever you want to call it. I'm sure you would agree with me on this. We cannot deny that there is something that exists beyond us, out of our control, right? Don't tell me you control everything in your life, because some things is out of control, no? When you pass, when do you decide when are you going to leave? When do you decide what date you are going to come into planet Earth? When do you decide choosing your parents and choosing all these things? Right now, you can't even put your mind around it. And under all of the things we don't know, is it fair to say that there must be something that does know, because they're doing a pretty good job of existence actually happening right now? And I know some of you will be thinking there's a lot of chaos happening right now. But what if all that chaos and order is all part of how existence happens in lines and vibrations? The up-down theory. And so when we come to the understanding that, number one, we are not in full control because there's something beyond us that has even more control, then who is that thing which is a part of us, an extension of us? Almost like looking at it this way, and this is what I want you to understand. Inside our body, we may have certain blood cells, right? And the blood cells and atoms, all the different cells, they will have its own functionality, their own day job. True? So they all have to get on with their day job, whatever they need to do. The heart needs to get on with their day job. They have their whole own environment in itself. Bacteria is its own life force. If you look under a microscope, it will have its way of running around and doing its day job. But all of these things is what makes up us as we see right now. So who is God? What if we say God is everything? The universe you can call as everything, right? And so is God within us? Yes, because it's a part of. We can't say the blood cell is not a part of us, it's a part of us. But what if we start understanding that we are also not whole as just this individual you see? Because think about it like this, you think you have so much control. The fascinating thing is this: if you cut down all the trees in the world, your life would cease also. You'll be finished. Because you think your breathing apparatus is here, your lungs, right? Your pipes. But what if I was to tell you that your breathing apparatus was also that thing that's hanging up there right now, that tree up there, that is also part of you? Without them, how are you going to also breathe? So they are part of your breathing apparatus. In fact, the whole universe, the whole earth, the universe, the galaxy, everything is part of you. So when we talk about speaking to God, we are speaking to what we call, sometimes we say, higher self. Higher self, the extension of you, the greater you. It's almost like when parts of your body start speaking to you, this part of you. Everything is just something inside another thing, inside another thing, inside another thing, inside another thing, inside another thing. So if we look at what is God or who is God, how about we come to agreement that God is all? And if you don't like that terminology because all you think of is cults and religion and commandments and rules and all this, and you don't like that terminology, then you don't need to use the word God. Use the word universe. Use the word existence. And this is how it happens, one in another, one in another, one in another. While it is separate, it is one whole. And one final thing to finish off on. When it comes to different symbolism is what my master passed on to me. Understanding symbolism. Whether we want to call all these different religions, lucky charms, superstition, different forms of God, right? Buddha, Krishna, right? Whatever we see, Allah, different forms, they are also individual extension of the whole entirety of whatever you want to believe in. They are also extensions, but all is real. All is real. If it works for someone, it's real, because symbolism holds power. One thing that I shared, that I want to share with you, finally, that I shared with my team in the past few days, is understanding that if you were to take an individual and you said to an individual, you said, maybe they've got a rare disease or something, and you say to that person, you say, it's okay, just be positive and it'll go away. How hard is it for somebody just to be positive and for it to go away? Especially during those hard times. Why religion has been successful in its ways is because, think about it. If you were to know that an angel was there, or Jesus was there, or God was there, and somebody was dying there, and you say, it's okay, this angel's got your back, or this God's got your back, super powerful, does miracles, right? Because you have a visual interpretation or symbolism of something, our Father, it's easy for you to visualize in that positive light for it to happen for you. And that's how I see the link with law of attraction and everything else. And I know with this video, there's going to become a lot more questions and a lot more debate on this topic. Feel free to drop the comments below in your beliefs and your thoughts to help others actually move towards light. At the end of the day, to conclude, what I always say to people, actually, it doesn't matter what you believe in. The question you have to ask yourself is, are you in alignment? Are you with purity? Are you practicing love? Are you practicing kindness? Are you adding positivity into this world? And if the answer is yes, it doesn't matter what you believe in, as long as it works for you. On that note, we finish there. If you enjoyed this video, please do hit the thumbs up, hit the like button. Maybe if you relate to any of the things I'm talking about. And comment below, let us know where you guys have tuned in from. That's always nice to know. And finally, if you're new to this channel and you haven't already, remember to hit that subscribe button and the notification button next to it. That's our little bell sign, by the way, because this year I'm dedicated to making daily videos to hold you accountable to make it your best year yet. But for now, guys, signing out. Namaste.